Hi, it's a blessing to have you here today with me on Real Talk. Keep in mind, my friend, that Real Talk is really about your spiritual walk with God. Real Talk is about your soul. It's about nurturing your soul. On the other hand, Real Talk is not only about your spiritual side of you, but it's also about your mental health, how you process things, how you organize things in your mind. So Real Talk is really about an integration of the soul as well as the head. And somehow there's an integration of the two that makes you a holistic person so that you can function in a holistic way. Well, my friend, I need your participation right now. Right there on the screen, I'm asking you to press that subscribe button right now. That's it. Press that button and share this word with somebody who you know who might benefit from the Word of God. I'm going to 1 Peter 1, verse 6 to verse 8. And this is what the Word of God is saying to you, saying to us right now. It says, "Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness, through manifold temptations, that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ, whom having not seen ye love, in whom though ye see him not, yet believing, ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory." Well, for those of you who have been following me on Real Talk, I've been basically talking about the trials of various different individuals in the Word of God who have gone through so many things, yet they were able to gain victory. And I pinpointed what their trials literally were. Well, we're getting ready to look, are you ready, at the trial of Peter. What kind of trials did Peter go through? Well, let me give you a brief, quick intro into what I'm really talking about. I want to define this word for you, impulsivity. You see, impulsivity, my friend, refers to actions that are performed quickly without adequate thought or consideration of the consequences. In other words, impulsivity is a knee-jerk reaction. Impulsivity, my friend, is immediacy. Impulsivity, let me put it another way, is irritability. Impulsivity is impatience. It's overactivity. Impulsive individuals often act on the spur of the moment, driven by emotional responses rather than rational deliberation. It's a tendency to act too quickly without careful, thoughtful deliberation. It is a loss of control over aggressive impulse. It is a release of one's emotion. Let me see if I can bring this home and make it a little bit more crystal clear as we look at the life of Peter. Because right there in the Word of God in John chapter 18, we see the impulsivity of Peter. Peter literally draws his sword and he cuts off the ear of the high priest's servant who was literally coming to arrest Jesus. What is that? That is a reflective response that Peter was giving. It demonstrates Peter's impulsivity. It demonstrates his temper, his readiness to act physically without considering the implications, without even considering all what Jesus had taught him. And Jesus made it pretty clear that if you, Jesus talks about that if you fight with the sword, you will eventually perish with the sword. But when Peter found himself in a moment of intense conflict, he lost it and he acted on impulse rather than thinking about what he was doing. As I said, I believe that Peter in this particular text was impulsive. He struggled with his emotions. Or to put it another way, he was struggling with his anger. I don't know what was going on, hear me now, what was going on in the prefrontal cortex that literally determines how we make decisions right there in his brain. But he made an impulsive decision. His decision literally came out of a sense of anger. And what is anger, my friend? Well, it's a strong feeling of displeasure and antagonism. Anger, it's rage, it's fury, it's indignation, it's unmet needs, it's passive aggressive. What do you mean? It's passive aggressive because not only is it overt, but sometimes it's covert. That means it's undercover, but still it has a way of expressing itself. I'm talking about the emotionally inexpressive person who is characterized by avoidance of conflict and avoids self-disclosure and does not express emotions because they are mad, they are upset. So what do? They keep a lid on it and they squash it and they don't deal with the anger that they are literally feeling at that particular moment in their life. When we become angry, it's important to ask ourselves this question. You ready for this? Here it is. Is the source of my anger within me or in the other person, or is it in the situation? Because sometimes the source of your anger is not so much in what the person is doing to you. Sometimes the source of your anger is within you. And you have allowed the person to trigger you without you taking control of the situation. Our anger largely results from irrational beliefs, expectations, and self-talk. What kind of self-talk are you having when you get angry about something? Do you express it? Do you release it? Or do you hold on to it? As I said, anger has its roots in self-talk. What we chew on. What we meditate on. If we're not careful, we can chew on it until it can literally become explosive. Take responsibility about what it is that's bothering you. Don't get angry. Hear me now. Don't get angry. Get assertive. Replace anger with assertive by being assertive. Assert and state your feelings without displaying a lot of anger and intense emotion. Don't get angry and stupid, my friend. Don't do that. Get angry and insightful. What's going on with me? Why am I allowing this situation to trigger me? I like Peter in this text because what we are looking at right now is a mature Peter. That's what we are looking at in this particular text. Peter has matured. Peter has gone through a process. You remember some of the things that Peter went through? You do remember Peter went through a process of maturity that literally changed and shifted his personality. Remember, he was courtroom weeper. Remember, he was resurrection runner. Remember, he was Pentecostal preacher. Remember, he was water walker. Remember, he was the chief spokesman of the 12. And he had gone through that kind of process that literally shifted and changed who he was. Are you ready for this, my friend? I want to give you 3 simple things that I believe you can take with you right now, today. Are you ready? Number 1, here it is, a word about the reality of trials. Trials are a reality. Look what the Word of God says in verse 6. Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptation. In other words, what Peter is saying to us, this is the mature Peter, is that we're going to have some trials and some temptations in life. Can I tell you the truth? Christians get sick. Christian parents have trouble with their children. Christians have financial troubles. Christians walk through some pretty deep valleys in life. The Word of God says, wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season. In other words, the Word of God says this word season means that what you are going through, it's only seasonal. It will only last for a little while. Now, there's this wonderful paradox between grief and rejoicing. This is a paradox, but not a contradiction. And right now, some of you got 2 things that you're dealing with at the same time. This is what Peter is saying. He's literally saying to us, you can have grief, and you can also have rejoicing going on in your life at the same time. Because your grief is only temporary. It's not forever. You will never be able to get through trials unless you know a lot about biblical doctrine. If you don't know the Word of God, it's hard to get through trials. Oh, let me go to the second thing here and stay with me. Stay with me right now. A word about realignment in trials. Because what the trial is really designed to do is to realign you with the will and the purpose of God. So if you are out of alignment with God, the Word of God is here to get you in alignment. Now and again, my car has to be realigned because the wheels are out of alignment. And although I'm steering the car, because the car is out of alignment, the wheels are wearing in a way that's not the best for the car. And sometimes life and circumstances can get you out of alignment. And the trial is designed by God to get you in alignment with God. That the trial of your faith, wow, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire. Peter is speaking about the refining process that gold goes through. Gold goes through a process so that it will come forth as pure gold. The genuineness of your faith will be tested. Your trust in God is more valuable than gold. God will give you praise and glory and honor in your situation. I'm coming to the end. Are you ready, my friend? This is it. I told you there's a word about the reality of trials. You can't get away from them. It's a part of life. I told you there's a word about realignment in the trial. That if you claim to be a child of God, you will be tested. And last of all, a word about the reliability in trials. Verse 8, whom having not seen ye love, in whom now ye see him not, yet believing. Wow. As we weather the storms of life and see God will come through again and again. We find out that we are serving an unseen God. An unseen God who will always be faithful. When we face trials, he goes through them with us. He will never leave us alone. And this is what I want to say to you. It is the test of reliability. Jesus is not visible. Jesus is not visible. If Jesus is the test of reliability, the test of the trial is useful for measuring character, behavior over a long period of time. What are you saying? God is consistent and God will be reliable in your life. Well, my friend, it's been a blessing sharing the word of God with you. Keep in mind that Real Talk is about your mental health and it's also about your spiritual walk with God. You be blessed, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. God bless you. Bye for now. And press that subscribe button right now and share this word with somebody. And I believe that God will bless you. Bye for now, Dr. Bair.